Hey Kingsman, welcome back. Today I have another Napoleonic Total War 3 battle. Today we have a 4v4 and it is against, I believe, two clans of which I am not even going to try to guess at what their names. They can tell me in the comments and I'll put the names in the description here. But it is a 4v4 with some very interesting factions. Don't get seen very often yet. The Ottomans, as well as France. I think two French and two Ottoman players was kind of the factions that were gone for here. Oh, my apologies. Nope. One Ottoman, two French, and one Polish faction. Going up against, as you saw, Russia, I believe Sardinia, Piedmont, Sardinia. Where is the rest of them? And I apologize if I have had not a video in a while. It is the middle of the work week. That's why I probably sound a little tired. Just got home from work. But you know what, guys? I can't not help but post more videos. Here's another Russian army over here. So I think it is 3 Russians and 1 Sardinia. Maybe it's 2 Sardinia. We'll see at the end. Yeah. Already, you can see, as we have seen with maps like this before, this has been a hot point of contention in the past along this road, as it is an excellent line of communication. But you can see that actually Ottomans are getting pushed back by Sardinia, and Russia were pushing up with some of their hussars of sorts and their cavalry. Yeah. But Poland is going to be showing up with a lot of cav, because that is what Poland does. A lot of lancers. Let's see, they brought anything else. Brought some horse artillery, 6-pounder, more lancers, and some hussars. Here we go. The French on this side bringing up some heavy cuirassiers, 3 of them. My goodness, this chasseur cheval, some lancers. Looks like they're bringing some skirms, voltigeurs, some more chasseur cheval to defend the back. Let's see, we got a 12-pounder and an 8-pounder. Yeah, I love 8-pounders. 9-pounders, 8-pounders, always a good thing in my opinion. Of course, they're also bringing a lot of infantry, and this is 11-point France, which is pretty well-rounded. They don't have a lot of squares. That is their only weakness, but they bring large units. Now, the cav is really starting to bunch up here. Sardinia is showing up with even more of their cav. This is looking to be a massive cav brawl. France over here on this side, 10-point France, bringing some of the cavalry. Infantry marching down the road as well. They have Moreau. No one wants to start the fight, and the thing about cav fights is you can start a fight. If you don't commit everything, you can kind of have little spats here and there. But you don't want to lose your cav advantage too early on. Honestly, you never want to lose it at all. But so early on, it's just cav, unless you're for sure that you're going to win, it's kind of a risky move. And honestly, right now, I would say that the French Imperial side has the advantage. You see, they're actually pushing out here with some of Poland's lancers kind of pushing up here. Have a general maybe going to be nearby to inspire. We have some Ottomans. And now, what I like about the French side, what they're doing is they have the Ottoman light cav and the horse artillery as well. Although they're shooting their own men, unfortunately. Polish, some of them didn't want to, be in that fight. But what I'm saying is, some lancers to go head on, to be backed up by more lancers. You have your Ottoman lights who will flank. Over here, more of this. Heavies working with the Ottoman lights. The good thing is they're going to be taking on some of the guard. So this is Russian guard cav. You have Bagration himself. You have some cuirassiers. Not a lot, and the guard is a small, it's like the Imperial Guard, and so they could get bullied off this field. Sardinia is going to have to support them. In fact, it looks like they may be falling back here. But yeah, we have a mass maybe pushing up on the left here. There is a river, though, so very wisely, I think that the Russians are actually going to try to hold this river. As it will slow down enemy. There's trees here and make it a lot more difficult. As you can see with the terrain, they can react, and the cav will be slower trying to get to them. I mean, this 12E cav is taking a little bit to get through the ferns and such, but they seem to be taking this house. thus far, they seem to be taking the house. They seem to be establishing, although we have some skirmishers now for Sardinia and Russian infantry pushing up. And the problem for this Imperial side is they don't have infantry close. So they are unfortunately going to be forced back here, as they have a French army way over here. They have Ottomans in the center and more French on the side, but their center is lacking in infantry. Not a terrible thing. So skirmishers going to get in the LOC. They're going to start taking pot shots. An excellent use of skirmishers. Throw some Grens to support those skirms, and you can force the enemy back. It looks like, although it looks like they're going to stand their ground for now, Poland can afford to stand their ground for just a little bit at least. I mean, look at the amount of cav they have here. And you know I got to get this cool shot. So epic. My goodness. It's just so much of it, you know? And maybe they're going to fall back here. Artillery maybe going to make it more difficult for them, so they're going to start falling back. Let's not forget the mini-map. So, the artillery is going to keep firing. Oh, some poor Ottomans definitely got killed there. Russia is pushing up with some line infantry here. Grenadiers maybe going to go in the house. Very strong front. Now, the Cav advantage is obviously, because they're bringing Poland, the Cav advantage is obviously in favor of the French alliance.
Our general is under attack.
You need to watch out. The skirmishers get killed here. Yeah, they're getting shot by some skirms. And Moreau's going to get himself out of there. As these Sardinian maybe try a cheeky little volley there. Not a bad idea to try to take out the general for the French early. Do a morale shock. I do hear a Cav fight here. Ottomans going to get surrounded by Ulani and Koni. They are going to get just annihilated, I would say, here. And that was an excellent charge coordination by Russia. They didn't lose a single unit here. And now France is going to be reacting a little late here. They do have infantry, though, advancing on the town. So actually, France does have a huge flank now. A battle before. And if you haven't seen my other replays, I'd encourage you to go check them out. We had a fight over here. I think it was the UK and French. And they were duking it out here. And I think France actually broke. So they had to be very careful. Mainly just because of the river. But we have another Cav charge here. And Russia, Lancers, gonna get broken most likely. Maybe not. France is actually getting very aggressive here. But they don't have a whole lot of support. They in fact have the general who could easily get charged by some Cav of their own. But they're gonna force the Russians to go back. Maybe they can set up some of their artillery. I don't know where their artillery actually is. Where is the... Oh, there it is. Alright, so they have an 8-pounder, which they can set up at a perfectly good angle. I don't see... So we do have... Okay, Sardinia has a 3-pounder, and one other pounder who's probably firing at the Cav in the forest here. France has pushed up to this hill. And actually, as their 8-pounders set up, this is what I love about 8-pounders, is they have such good range. And you can see they're already forcing back and actually really hurting a lot of the Russian heavies. Oh, we do have Chasseurs Cheval getting charged by Gusari of Russia. And those Chasseurs Cheval are going to die. An excellent small victory here. These skirmishers probably going to get a volley off, though. Or not. Some of them did. Don't know if it actually did a whole lot of damage. And Russia, so far, it's been very tame. The fighting has been extremely tame. And, excuse me, sorry. Both sides kind of satisfied right now, just kind of feeling each other out. Honestly, France and Ottomans still pushing up, so it's not like they're waiting for anything necessarily. They are still pushing. I think Russia is trying to figure out where the French are actually going to attack. We do have, let's see, this is all National Guard. Okay, so they have a meat shield. France has a meat shield. Now, I can't imagine this costs too much in total. Probably costs something, which is probably why they got Cav guarding it. They are going to be pushing it up, maybe drawing some fire while the rest of their army, their grenadiers of the line, and their actual true line infantry, sorry National Guard, but you are not as cool as these guys, are going to push up here. This is the one thing I love about having a nice computer, is I can actually run this without it looking like it's going to, you know, glitch out here. And they're going to advance on to the Russian Guard. Skirmishers out in front. They have cav defending them. They need to have cav, I see, on this side, because if they charge in this direction, you're at risk of charging your own skirmishers. We do appear to have more Russians in this town, so they definitely have taken the LOCs. We have the... Okay, so we do have some line infantry backing up the Imperial Guard. There's something so satisfying about seeing guys marching. And the line's just not totally perfect, it just looks so realistic. You know, it just... So I do hear some fighting here. I'm gonna miss it. Yes, we do have finally Sardinia and Russia as well as Poland fighting this out. It looks like there was a charge to go for the horse artillery by Sardinia, and Poland managed to break them. In fact, they were able to rotate out some cav. That's an excellent job of rotating out. Sardinia still has some of their cav in the combat, and now they're going to pull out, and they're probably going to charge in more cav here. They do not want to lose their guns, and Sardinia maybe is going to be pushing up here. Now, they do have some skirmishers, possibly going to be putting up some spikes here. Nope, they're just getting really close, but they're going to get overwhelmed. As you can see, Russia is going to lose all of their cav and then skirmishers for Sardinia. We do have a strong Russian position on this side. We have what is this? 6-pounders firing at the cavalry here. Maybe trying to go for a general here. Rabowski. Now we have the Ottomans pulling in. The Ottomans are kind of a wild card. They can do really well, or they can do terrible. So it's going to be interesting to see how they react, or how they do in battle. They are bringing some line infantry. Not the greatest quality, but they do have a range, I believe, of 75 versus 70, or maybe it's 80. But they have an extended range, so they can actually pepper down enemy without getting shot. Sardinia has pushed up, as well as Russia, going in front of this house here. So it's anyone's game still who can win. Now France has actually opted to not go against the French guns. Very wise here. Now we do have some French artillery getting charged by the Russian cavalry. This 8-pounder, maybe he's gonna die here. Unfortunately, they may be not able to defend as well, and this Russian, or this Polish cav is gonna get surrounded and broken. Unfortunately, this infantry wasn't able to defend the artillery, and that's a loss for the French here. Over here, the battle is heating up. This horse artillery has done some excellent work here. Now, howitzers now going to be blasting away. So the cavalry, honestly, is going to have to start getting out of there. Oh, what a shot. What a show. You already see the howitzers are going to start dealing the damage here. Focusing down that horse artillery. And going for the cav in the back. Howitzers are going to do so much damage against that gun. Now we do have Sardinia going against the horse artillery, but they are... But, oh, fun. Hold on, guys. So whenever your sound starts glitching out, just go to 256 if you're at 128, and the sound will come back like magic. So Poland is actually countercharging to defend their artillery. Russia's now going to funnel more, but I think Poland seems to be wasting the enemy cav, as they're now going to push up more lancers to meet the cavalry of Russia. This horse artillery is still in this fight. Now we have French infantry pushing up, and start pouring in some regular volleys. We do have some line infantry who had to pull them out of there. Looks like France is still squaring up against the guard as well as over here. But the real fight, guys, is over here. I promise I'll keep my eye on the mini-map. Poland is just defending. Wow, look at these guys. Wow. But anyway, these guys have their backs turned to the enemy. That's maybe their custom. It's their tradition. You turn your back to the enemy, you know, to show how much you don't care. Now, but this this artillery is still there. We do have now French line infantry who banned a charge of square from Russia and broke them. So now France actually is going to start pushing up here. Sardinia and Russia need to be very, very cautious because 3 factions right now are focusing in this one area, and you have a 1v. Well, I guess it's not too much. This is 2 factions versus 3 over here, but they kind of spread out, so forget what I'm saying. But France is making a strong push. Russia is really going to have to start massing up around this town if they want to defend it. We do have some cavalry charging out. Where are they going to go? Artillery, friendly artillery fire, unfortunately, from this Polish gun, I think, really hurt this cav. We have infantry going in with the artillery. Alright, well, you get the idea. So cav and infantry, they actually charge another square with some line infantry. That is going to be disastrous. Now, we do have also some cav that maybe went against... Okay, there's skirmishers here getting charged by Sardinia cavalry. Over here, France is still just moving, trying to maneuver, get on the flank. They are letting their national guard to get blasted by artillery. That is probably what they want to happen right there. Russia should probably be focusing on something else. Here we have, another charge going for the guns of Sardinia. And there was nothing to stop that charge from Poland. And Sardinia may lose their artillery, 3-pounders that could have been so vital in this line fight here. France managed to get that infantry out of there after charging a square here. So now France is, as you can see, very close. Russia, though, is starting to mass on the flank. They have a very strong presence with some cuirassiers as well as some lights. So that's going to be a problem that France is going to have to deal with. They're going to have to deal with that. Russia needs to start pushing, which is exactly what they're doing. And look at this fight going off. It is just disorganized and yet organized at the same time. Cav charging back and forth on both sides. Over here, we do have some French cav that charged in, going for the guns. Got countercharged by some lights for Russia. They're basically equivalent of hussars, I believe. Or maybe that's the word for hussar. I don't know. But some skirmishers setting up now. Honestly, what they should do is have, like, most light infantry here and have the skirms on the flank. That way they're shooting and shooting and shooting and not getting focused down. This center is now having some cav pushing up, maybe threatening the flank of this Russian guard. Sardinia is still holding the center strong. Ottomans pushing against them. And France now is having to reform as a 10-point Russia is going to be trying to get on their flank here. Also, you can see the cav Ulani forming up as these cuirassiers. This is going to be a tough fight for both sides, honestly. There's heavies for France, I am sure. They have heavies. They are going to have to deal with this fight. Yeah, they're going to have to... eventually someone's going to have to do something. But Russia, for the meantime, is just using their cav numbers to be able to support an attack on this flank. And France actually looking... This is looking troublesome because if you see, France here, Ottomans have fallen back, and now Sardinia is just going to go for the flank here. Outflank France. France needs to get themselves out of there and fall back, and the Ottomans need to make sure that their ally knows exactly what they're doing, which I'm pretty sure they're talking here. All these players are very good players in NTW3, and I would doubt that they would not be communicating. Now, we do have some infantry here. Going to get charged by some cavalry of Sardinia. That's going to hurt. As now even more, Sardinia is really making a push here. That's why they're going for the guns here. Of the Ottomans, this is going to become a concern if they can't keep their guns. They're probably going to lose them over here. France is now starting to focus on this side. Oh, cav went in. Cuirassiers going in for the Russian guard. Better watch out because they're going to get volleyed or bayonet charged. And this is the Russian guard. And France 11 is a beefy faction. Now, you see France is now going to start falling back, or not France, I apologize. Russia is going to start falling back here. They are outnumbered, and they're not using the numbers correctly. They almost need to swing on the flank, but the guys cannot form squares, so it is becoming a problem. Sardinia going in again on the Ottomans, trying to make them pay for retreating here. In the center, we just have Cav funneling back and forth, but look at the huge push with Russia going in for this flank, and I think Poland is thinking they can try to outflank maybe, let some of their Cav take it head on and hit the flank and turn the flank, so Russia needs to be very careful. That Lancers are going to be a problem for them. We do have units that can form square, pushing up. Oh my goodness. And nope, here we go. France is getting bayonet charged by some crappier units of Russian infantry. But this battle is becoming a chaotic mess here. The horse artillery finally maybe going to get charged. Poland defending the guns once again as some cuirassiers are going in. And here we go. France is committing to this fight, pushing up infantry. Poland needs to reinforce this fight. It looks like Russia is going fully in. They are committing to this fight here. Their cuirassiers are in this fight probably for good, and that's why. But here comes Poland, and now France, honestly, is going to probably be at a disadvantage. Lancer's going to make a excellent charge here, and they're probably going to not even go for these guys. Now they were just waiting to see if they would charge in. And this huge Cav fight on the side here, clashing all the way around. I think Poland should win this flank. France is not doing well, but they do have infantry pushing up here. They're trying to back up their line infantry. Oh, a bayonet charge on the flank with some grenadiers. More 58E line infantry going in for another bayonet charge, trying to hold this side. They need to push through this side and make it. They have some units that form square to try to hold against these cuirassiers as they're trying to deal with the flank. And here goes that turning of the flank that I was talking about with Poland. Now they're going to start swinging around and getting some back charges here. Over here, Sardinia is still trying to smash the Ottomans' line, getting countercharged by Poland. And over here, it looks like France went in with a cav charge on the Russian line of infantry that cannot form square. The disadvantage of Russia. And so now they're going to be able to push on this flank, maybe fracture them in half as the Guard is by themselves. Sardinia is still pushing up here as Ottoman is trying to hold it together, but they are really needing the Polish to step in and just stop this cav from destroying them. France is still trying to hold the center against Sardinia and Russia. You see some light infantry here in a bayonet fight. Hand-to-hand combat is getting very real here. I think they finally broke some, no, not all of it. Here's some cuirassiers who are still being deadly. Over here, though, you can see that Polish flank, that turn of the flank is what saved the day on this left flank, and the mass break by Russia is going to help turn the scales back in favor of the French alliance here. Now, the center still is in question as Sardinia is really pushing here. Over here, you can see that the French are making huge gains with their heavy cuirassiers. They brought 3 of them, and their line infantry coordinating with them. They are trying to just destroy the Guard as quickly as possible, and I would say they're doing an excellent job. This flank is almost cleaned up. These men can probably start pushing up here on Sardinia. The Ottomans are going to need help here. They are going to be feeling the brunt of Sardinia. It's coordinated. Here goes yet another cap charge against 1.5. Oh no, maybe they will not this time. Oof. So the Ottomans actually are not breaking, to their credit. They are not breaking. They actually have a solid line. They have lost all of their artillery. The Polish still helping out here. Charging in with more of their Ulani. And I think they've almost broken the Russians here. Russia still has a strong center. They still have cavalry here. Some cuirassiers who are exhausted. They're probably resting them. Piedmont is now going to charge more of their cav forward. If they can break the center and split this army in 2, then they can face a very weakened France, as over here Sardinia could then swing and hold off the French, who have basically broken the Russian Guard. There's a grenadier here and a musketeer here with the general. So France is the one decisively on that flank, and they are winning decisively on this flank for the time being. Now Russia, you can see they are going to form up some more troops here, try to hold this line, try forcing them back, as France was pretty badly blooded by that fight. This battle has been intense. Here we got some more Sardinian infantry pushing up here. Not afraid to get their hands dirty. We do have some, what looks like Janissaries doing a bayonet charge against Sardinia. Sardinia is maybe going to give out to more than they can chew. We do have some Russian dragoons here. They have started to really fracture the center of this line and isolate this French army from the Ottomans. As you can see, though, Poland is still in this fight and still fighting strong. Now France, oh my goodness, France is actually losing a lot of infantry here. Russia is still pushing up even more line infantry. Gonna get a flanking charge on these 46 infantry. And pushing up with some renewed vigor with the infantry on this side here. This is getting very close, as yes, there is still a Russian center. They have not broken. The only true breaking that happened was, unfortunately, the Guard, who just got surrounded by a vastly larger army. And I'm talking like 3 cuirassiers kind of just ran all over Russia. And that's kind of tough to beat. So, but now Sardinia is going to start holding, as here's the National Guard. They're like, you know, we stood for long enough. We need to actually get in this fight. Now they're going to start attacking the flank, but Sardinia was thankfully ready for them. I don't think they're ready for this other flank. Now there is, oh my, this is so much chaos still in this fight. Russia has pushed, actually France looks like they're falling back and going to try to rejoin with the Ottomans, as the Ottomans are trying to fight a battle with their flank being totally turned. They do have a lot of calves still to support them, but this fight, now Sardinia did lose some of their infantry. Looks like some provisional infantry, and now they are starting to fall back because they know they are going to get outflanked. It's only a matter of time, as now France's cuirassiers are pushing up here. Russia Guard having a last bold stand here in this house. Oh, these guys are cool. And unfortunately, that's the end of them in a very victorious France. Now look at this. Sardinia is getting bayonet or cav charged by some cuirassiers who are tired, but they are pushing up here. As now a victorious French army is going to start swinging on the flank. Sardinia is not out of this fight, though, guys. They are forming up to hold out desperately. They do not want to be counted out. They still have Russia and artillery here, so they are not out of this fight. They're going to reform their lines to fight anew. And they still hold an LOC in a very decisive area. Now France, I think, did get away. A look at the carnage on this battle here. So back and forth, it feels like. Yeah, look at this. The Ottomans are trying to hold here. France has managed to get themselves out of there, but what cost? Now, because now Russia is going to be able to turn and face another way.
We've taken a building, sir.
Not now, really. I'm going to get a cool shot. And now, they're going to be able to form up here. Look at how many Russians are left. I spoke too soon. There's so much going on in this battlefield. It's still glitching up. You can see the men disappearing here. But now they're going to form up here. Ottomans going to renew their assault as France is going to push on Sardinia. It is only a matter of time now. There are some desperate Russians holding up in this town. Bagration is going to die here against some chasseurs.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
Look at these guys. Like, just look at this. It's so different. They almost look kind of creepy. compared to like some of these other units, you know. Oh, we have some cav charging here. Yes, we do. Some Polish cav going for the guns as Sardinia is facing everything against the Ottomans. They know they don't have to deal with too much of a flank. France is going to sit back here. They're like, yeah, this is the rest of us. We'll come back in a second. We got to rest. In the meantime, Russia is going to start pushing on the flank. It is up to the Ottomans to hold this side. As France is going to start pushing up on this side here. Oh yeah, look at that. That is just so cool. The sea of Russian infantry. I don't know how you even see what you're shooting at, but Russia's now falling back here with Sardinia just because they are just coming against such crazy large numbers here. Ooh, the Grenadiers of Sardinia. Look at these guys. Oh no, the flag bearer died. Officer's not even ordering his men to fire. Disgraceful. Now they're gonna start falling back. So on this viewed out, you can see that Russia, got charged by some heavies. No, not even heavies. They just got charged by Ottoman cav here, as well as a bayonet charge going in to reinforce. And Russia's actually starting to fall apart on this right flank here. As the Ottomans are now going to go in for yet another flanking charge here. And you're going to have some crazy hand-to-hand combat. And yet another fight. Sardinia is still trying to hold this side, but they don't have much left. There's a little bit of Russians sitting on the side, but France is going to roll over them as they barely took any losses, it seems, on this last fight. And here we go. We got some cuirassiers going in against the Russians, who cannot catch a break. You see, their line just got shredded to pieces here. As the left flank of Sardinia is going to start collapsing, France bayonet charging, and this is the final death blow being dealt to them. As the Ottomans have actually done an excellent job of holding here. Sardinia running behind them, broken. Sardinia is still managing to hold on. It's just an ever-tight circle. And here we go, Russia is defending the last with their, I think this is one of their last units now. And they're going to break against 4 units or 3 units of the Ottomans. As France is going to curve around the flank here, they do have some, where's their cav at? So their cuirassiers maybe are going to break here. They've been fighting for a very long time. This is all that remains of this army, guys. I'm pretty sure. Fighting so fierce that it destroyed their army. This is it. That is one of the French armies. That's all that's left, I believe. I shouldn't laugh at the misfortune, but, you know, they did their job. Here the Ottomans are now going full in France as well. It's just an all-out brawl. And I think this battle is basically over. Well fought on both sides. It was unfortunate this cav fight on this side where Russia had to fight France and Poland, where all this dead is. This is what kind of cost it. Unfortunately, they didn't have the cav numbers to withstand the United French. I mean, anytime you have a Polish faction with just cav, it's usually a pretty decisive victory. Now we think we had one unit over here. Some grenadiers, but they are going to probably not last much longer. Their morale is probably awful. We can still enjoy some hand-to-hand combat. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. No, instead France is just gonna shoot them. Well, there may have been some filming going on there. And the rest of Russia, I'm going to fast forward here because I do believe that is it. Oh no, there's an LOC, I forgot about that. Sardinia has some skirmishers, I believe. And their general, possibly. But they're going to hold this house, they're going to get bayonet charged, and it should be the end here. Who is going to get the honor? We have National Guard, who are going to... oh, wow. Look at this general. It's like, how could you come to this? You know, just...
Our men are running.
He looks like he's pretty upset about how things went. I think he just died. But yeah, that should be the battle. So, I apologize, guys, if I sounded really tired. I am. I'm not going to lie. But I hope you enjoyed, because I do enjoy these battles. This one was sent in by Fridas. I believe it's Fridas. Maybe not. I don't know. But well played on both sides here. You can see this army took a lot of kills. So well played. This is the 11 point. No, this was the 10 point that lost so many men. That's about it, guys, for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you're not subscribed, you'd like to support the channel and also be notified when I get new videos posted, then go ahead and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. I think it's about it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.